up on this app. Yes, we're live. Hello, yes, hello, yes. Welcome to another live reality game shows podcast. We are here to talk about Survivor Syracuse, a new era merge episode. Woo! Joining me as usual is third place finisher on Heroes vs. Villains, Gabby, and joining us new is third boo of Heroes vs. Villains, Polly.
I
Polly, how are you doing?
I'm good. Let the record show I did better the first time around, but
Yeah.
symmetry. I got you, Lee.
When you do it right the first time, why do you have to do it right a second time?
Exactly.
Yeah. The second time was just for funsies.
Yes.
Yeah.
You walked so Gabby could shine.
Exactly. That's what I tell her every day.
Yeah.
So, Polly, how are you doing since last time we saw you? It's been since the airing of episode 3 of Heroes vs. Villains since you were last on this.
Wow, it's been a while, Lee. I graduated. Gabby and I graduated. I've
Yay.
been working on my merkin. Oh yeah, drink to that, Gabby. Graduated. Yeah, and I've been keeping up. I mean, I just fall a little bit behind, but I'm all caught up now and ready to chat all things Survivor Syracuse. It's a new era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to
And
you.
Gabby, how have you been doing? Yeah.
I've been doing
Cheers. Imagine I have a drink.
Yes. I've been doing great, Lee. I'm still just living.
She's still alive.
Yeah, I know. I visited my friend at school this weekend, and that was super fun. Not Syracuse though. Other than that, vibing, job hunting a little bit. Not very seriously, but a little bit.
Well,
Really.
you'll get a job. This
Yeah.
podcast doesn't pay enough. We really need to get that Patreon up.
Yes, exactly. I'm banking on the Patreon for Polly. Lee and I have a running gag about our Patreon and the types of content that we would offer on our Patreon. So if you'd
Mhm.
like to get into that, and
Yeah, I mean, if you want to add chart readings, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, join our $75 tier Patreon and get Polly to read your future.
Nice.
yes,
Go
we
to
could
your
also
chart and
we could
what are you saying?
psychoanalyze the cast. I'm saying we could psychoanalyze the cast based on their birth charts,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
Polly is about to do.
Season 6 will do
Yeah.
that. Season 6 will release all their charts and we'll figure out which ones will do well, which one will do horribly, and which ones will be the entertainment.
Honestly, I think we could predict that pretty easily with those
Mhm.
metrics.
Sure.
Right? Speaking of entertainment, we got none this episode.
I was entertained a little.
I was entertained. Yeah, entertained. Yeah.
I think I was more stunned than entertained.
No.
So let's get into the episodes. So we start off with the merge. Actually, we talked about this earlier, but I think the public should know. Where were the 3 returnees that the trailer of last episode teased us? Because I saw no returnees. Polly, would you by any chance happen to know anything about this?
Yeah, Lee. So yeah, the inside scoop. It's a new era, and there's a huge change in, I mean, style. I'm so glad that they've changed music, and we're not like stealing from the show. And yeah, but yeah. So that episode, as part of the U Up challenge, it was like a separate part of a pretty big, ambitious challenge for a new era. Um, a separate part after all the U Up stuff was done or before. Um, Everyone came in, and then I showed up, Lydia showed up, and Kevin showed up. The first 3 booths of Heroes versus Villains. We all came, and we all dressed in red to match, and we served as like judges for another part of the challenge where the 3 teams all had to like make a little like promo ad for the club. So we were like judging their style, their content. It was really fun. We went in. Lydia said she would be Simon Cowell. I would be Paula and Kevin would be Randy, but like I ended up being like Simon. It was too easy to be cunty, and it was like too fun. It's like there's no stakes. But yeah, I guess they cut it for time, and I mean, more power to them to it because they made last week like a double episode, and it was still like under an hour. So big respect to the editing team there. I love you girls and guys, and I don't know who else is there. Whatever.
And in between.
Yeah.
Wait, Polly, do you have any indication or insight? Does them being on OTN now mean that the episodes have to be a certain length?
I do have insight because that was part of the deal that we made last year. They don't have to be a specific length, but like under an hour, or at least like if they're over an hour, like closer to like an hour 30, like to fit into those half-hour time slots.
Yeah, because I doubt the final episode would be like 30 minutes. That one kind of has to be like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, maybe hour 45 to fit into that 2-hour time slot. But yeah, I mean, that's why they've switched music as well, and like why we don't use the OG theme song, because like, you know, it's our show. We got to broadcast. We can't steal music anymore.
Darn it.
Yeah, I know.
That explains a lot with like me and Gabby definitely been noticing like some weird edit cuts throughout the season so far, like the lack of challenges being an example. Speaking of lack of challenges, the lack of an immunity challenge, we immediately get cut to the challenge is a planking challenge. Ensued nightmare because I would not survive.
Yeah.
Raise your hand. I still can't do a plank to this day.
Yeah, and I also, neither can I, first of all, but there was some part about it too where it wasn't just like a straight up planking contest. It was like you were supposed to bet on how long you could do it. Which I thought was interesting, but I thought it would have made more sense if we saw more rounds of it instead of just, it's been a trend this season that we see the explanation and then the finale of the challenge and nothing in between.
And that's if we're lucky. Sometimes we just don't get any challenge. Cut to episode 3.
And, you know, coming from being on all sides of production while I was there, I know, and it was a very hectic semester, especially for the crew, and I wasn't even super on the crew, but like trying to just track footage alone for every single challenge, like multiple times a week. I'm sure stuff got lost in the kerfuffle, and I'm sure that's why we've just seen some streamlined editing. And yeah, I you know, this immunity challenge I wasn't super aware, but even when it's like a full immunity challenge where they explain everything, I'm usually not aware if that's the case either. So I'm just along for the ride for this new era, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, this planking challenge was definitely different. It was very similar to make a challenge reference. The I can elimination from the duel one, where it was like, I bet I can hold 50 watermelons. I bet I can hold 75. Okay, bet. Go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fail to do it, then you're out. Cue DM crying moment, misser.
Yeah.
And so we get to this elimination. What? Not elimination. This challenge was a double immunity win, one for the men and one for the women, because we are not having a repeat of this current season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still going downhill. So in the final two,
I saw tweets that were saying like the only way to save this current CBS season is to now make it so that one woman gets an immunity. Like there is an immunity win for a woman and for the men.
Yeah, I feel like that should always be at least the very first immunity challenge.
Yeah.
Like always have one each.
It's hard to enforce the binary like that, but when you get something like Syrvivor where they could not be more enforceful of of societal things like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like sex is, you know, biological. Like, you know, no one's trying to say it's not, even though there are some people who are. But, you know, I think they could just like make the challenges so it's like less of like there's more of a physical advantage if you have like a more like wide set shoulders or like other biological advantages. And even Big Brother has kind of like done that, where it's kind of cater to people who are like way more fit and top heavy than just making them
Nimble.
because like they're challenges. It doesn't have to be like football, you know.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, like make them more. Not saying like make them more fair because, I mean we did have a season of Survivor where all but one immunity was won by women. So yay, the one good thing from HHH. So it is obviously possible. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes there's what's the thing where it's called like unintentional biases. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
No, where it's like it may not come across like that, but it's still happening. Like we,
Yeah, like they're not doing it on purpose, but
yeah, they're not doing it on purpose, but it's still happening. Like we've had how many eliminations, and it's been all women and the only two gays.
Mm-hmm. But not at Survivor Syracuse. We keep that
No,
there.
no, only in Survivor Syracuse we just keep the boring people. Speaking of the boring people,
Oh.
none of them won the immunity.
Woo.
Who did win the immunity was Marcelo for the guys and Mel for the girls. Yay! Mel being one of the only few people actually giving us entertainment.
It runs in the family, you know. Mel's my mother. What did you expect?
Mel also started the club, so you know she knows what us sloppy little pigs want.
She knows.
Yeah, we're getting two very different gameplay styles and strategies from our two e-board girls. One is actual strategy, and the other is questionable.
It's hard to say questionable. Like I feel like Casey, she's playing more of like a retracted like floater.
Who said it was about Casey?
Well, I think we all know. I love both of them to death. They're both the best, and they're both, the reason this club is up and running. Mel's definitely in that awesome like power player position. Like I think it was this episode or the episode before. She's talking about like she has other people like stirring up the messes for her, like coming back to report to her, and like she feels bad like not doing it herself, but also like she's in that clutch position where she doesn't have to. And then Casey, I feel like, is kind of a little less in it. Like she's still playing, she's still strategic, but she's definitely more of like a floater, like go with the flow instead of like trying to command agency and make sure she has everyone under her spell. But there's validity in that.
What is kind of interesting though is Mel has voted wrong more often than Casey has. So like Mel voted wrong in the last tribal, and she voted wrong this episode. So I mean, I think that's kind of indicative.
This is the only time she's voted wrong. She voted right at the first tribal or second tribal.
I think I'm mistaking it for
she got votes her last tribal.
Yeah, she almost
was
went
very
home.
gagged. She had no clue they were coming.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that her perception is a slightly off, but I think that she's still in a good position because like that, even though she's not 100% on the right side, she's not 100% the target either. She still has wiggle room to do interesting stuff. She's not super bound to an alliance, and she's also she's a total free agent. She's a total swing vote for anybody who wants to pull her in. I think she's in a good spot.
Yeah, she's definitely to quote a recent video I just watched about College Survivor, she's not tied to the Bible of the Shallow Tribe. Like following the rules, like we must stick together or else heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
So after the challenge, we get the whole everybody saying this merge is crazy. Like everyone is going crazy except for Lily. Lily's just having a time.
Lily's just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lily seems like that one background character that is unintentionally funny and you never noticed, but it's like, okay, you like her, but she's not like the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lily's cool. I wish where's Lily's screen time? I feel like we're barely really seeing her.
Yeah.
I love it when we get clips of her too, because I feel like she's always saying fun things, and she always has a pretty good perception and, good peace of mind to share.
Yeah,
More
and
Lily.
nobody. Yeah, give us more Lily. Join our Patreon where we go on a Lily rant and why she gets more screen time. So yeah, not much really happens in between, which is surprising for a merge episode. Everybody says everything's going crazy, but it's pretty straightforward that Old Morado plus Ben is voting Parker because he's a threat, and then Old Shallow minus Ben is voting Emma because she's one of the two people that has not won immunity.
I also I saw in the comments after the episode that Eli said that Shallow was like from ever since she flipped them off at the end of the third challenge, which we never saw. I would have loved to have seen that. Ever since she flipped them off in the third challenge, he said that Shallow was gonna vote her out at the soonest possible opportunity. Which we didn't get a lot of that in the vlogs because I think they probably tried to make it a little bit more ambiguous than that. But yeah, that's tea, and that's why I thought that's a perfect example of why people should try to refrain from going way too hard in the very, very beginning, because if you make those kinds of enemies, like, girl, bye. You're gone.
Yeah, like I said, save it for the confessionals.
Yeah, save it for the confessionals.
That's what
Like,
they're
there's
there
no
for.
reason, like, obviously you're competing against like the other tribe, whatever, but like there's no reason to like I never got why people were like so bitter and like so angry. Like, yeah, we lost. Like, roll the punches. You don't need to be like a cunt like to everyone visibly and like painting yourself as an asshole. Not to say that Emma was either of those things, but like it's good to just cool it and just be chill because you never know when you're gonna need those people to like you later.
Yeah, well, I think we saw at the very end of this episode that Emma is very, very passionate about this game, and there's a lot of emotions wrapped up in it for her. So maybe she just got carried away with that whole.
Yes.
And I'm one. I get it. I will get carried away easily in this situation. So I get her. Once or twice.
Yeah. And we don't know what happened in that challenge. A lot of the Murado people were saying how cocky the Shallow people were acting while playing the challenge and stuff like that. We'll just never know since the third challenge is just lost in the wind.
The lost tapes.
Yeah.
I think it adds to the mystery of a new era,
It's like
a new.
Polly will understand this reference. Leah, I don't know if you're a Housewives fan, but it's like how there's no footage of Kathy Hilton's meltdown from Aspen. It's like it adds to the mystery of it. Like, we'll never know. Emma is the Kathy Hilton, or perhaps the Lisa Rinna.
Was it like producer negligence, or was it like an intentional story choice? We'll never know.
We will never know. And no, I don't get because I don't watch Housewives.
Lee, you would love it. I know it doesn't seem like it's in this sphere, but I promise you it is.
It's very similar to Survivor, actually. It's really
agree.
Yeah, they're the exact same. It's just a bunch of women voting each other off for their rich husbands.
Yeah. I mean, no voting, but like there is a winner. There is a winner and a loser.
There is a winner.
They get sent to Redemption Island, which is like Ultimate Girls Trip is pretty much Redemption Island, and then there's sometimes they get sent off the island to prison. So
yeah,
there's always a winner, and it's always Nene Leakes. That's literally the only housewife I like know of.
That's correct. That's valid.
Speaking of Redemption Island, I'm worried this season is going to turn into it. With how this season is, with how this season is going, I do not have high hopes for this. And considering one of the contestants says they want to play a Boss and Rob Redemption Island game, makes me even more worried that this is. I can say this because I don't know these people personally. I know you two are very like nice and you're friends with them. This is probably going to be the worst Syracuse season out of the 5.
You think worse than season 4?
No, season 4 is one of the good ones.
Oh, so what's the bad one?
2.
Okay, agree. No shade season 2, but yeah, season 1.
My season
No
ranking
shit.
order. My season ranking order is 3, and 3 and 4 tend to flip on each other on which one I like and which one is second best. Then season 1 would be 3rd, and season 2 used to be the worst, but season 4 is starting, not season 4, season 5 is starting to beat that season on which is probably the worst season of Syracuse.
Hey,
Which one has to exist? One has to exist. I'm not saying these people are wrong.
The merge, Lee, I'm just gonna say anything can change. It is the merge. Just to bring it back to what you were saying before though about Eli's comment that like he's Boston Rob and he was like, "This is my Redemption Island arc." I'm like, girl, like that was Boston Rob's 4th season, and like this is you're still in your 1st season. Like the whole point of Redemption Island was like the whole season was like handed to Boston Rob so he could win. Yeah, Russell was there, but like no one's gonna work with Russell. But like Boston, it was like lamb to the slaughter, the Boston Rob slaughter. But like I don't know. Do you think the season's gonna play out that way? Everyone's just like
That's how it's
following a Pied
appearing
Piper?
to be.
For
It's how
Eli?
it's appearing to be.
Well,
No, for
actually,
all the shallow people, except for
I
Ben,
don't-
because he's the only one developing. But even then, it's not that good.
I really think that I saw more of that Pied Piper-ishness with Barato and everybody who was following Emma, and I felt confident in breaking away from that when we had like Lily and Marcelo in their confessionals in this episode being like, why the hell are we letting Emma make all the decisions? And when Lily said that, I was like, thank God. I've been screaming that for so many weeks. I've been like, why? Why are you letting her do this? Why? What? Like, just what? And Emma got such like a confident, inflated level of like her perception of her power in the game that she felt like she was so completely invincible to the point where she was talking about like she was like, oh, I expect to be blindsided like weeks from now, and honestly if people don't try I'm gonna be offended. It's like, girl, and then it's like it's saying that you're gonna be offended if people don't try to blindside you, and then you're like really fucking upset when they do blindside you.
It just reminds me of, it's like that she's like a Julia Kelly. It's like that level of intense gameplay off the bat. Everyone knows you're a force to be reckoned with. You're never gonna make it to the end. Like you're an icon, you'll be an icon, but you're not gonna make it to the end, girl.
I think for a second I was like, Julia Kelly, which Survivor player is that? I was like, oh no, you're talking about season 1 Julia, not one of the Julias on Survivor.
Nah, she's real. Julia Kelly is as real as it gets.
Yeah, this episode really showed the time span of Emma's say a name and everybody agrees on it power, because she said Parker and expected Eli and Julia to be like, okay. And well, her power is now gone. They were like, nope.
I also wait, sorry, I didn't understand the whole thing where Eli was saying that Emma told him that she threw a challenge for him.
I think she's talking about the U Up challenge. You know how they were talking about maybe throwing it or like not trying as hard? Lily said they were doing a 2-vote off Maddie, and I think Emma probably told Eli to gain his trust.
To protect him.
Yeah, it's
Emma,
like we did this
shit at the end. She was really just saying shit.
Yeah,
literally me. I love her.
Who can blame her?
She was even saying like, I see through their BS, but I'm still gonna completely believe that they're voting with us.
Yeah, I also did see a little bit of myself in Emma when she was like voting for Parker and like going after Parker, and she said like, I've said sorry every time I've voted other people off, but I'm not saying sorry this time, when she held Parker's name up. And Parker was like, I don't think I've ever like talked to her really. Like I saw a little bit of myself in Emma.
I think we all saw a bit of ourselves in Emma at some point
When
throughout
I
the
was like,
season.
when he was literally like, I don't understand where this is coming from. I was like, yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
Mhm.
I mean, again, this could be something we're not seeing because I remember seeing a confessional where Ben's talking about how Parker is full of himself. Like maybe it came off of that. Like we're not getting anything.
I don't know. Parker's
Mhm.
been, I like Parker's one of my I kind of like him in this season right now because I mean I thought he really could have done something if he used his swap advantage in a different way. But I like, his little idol thing, his little duo with Savannah, the way he finally broke the curse of, whoever Emma wanted to go home went home.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love because I was rooting for this like Parker Emma like duo dynamic in the beginning as someone who was like big on like their final two like bestie, like, and I'm just obsessed with he pulled it out, and also like his random like beef that like isn't beef with Jason from earlier. Like Jason was like, yeah, apparently like Parker's like throwing my name under the bus every week. I like never like talk to him, and like I don't know Parker. I don't like know you like that, but like for me, just like there's always just that one guy. Like when you're like a girl's boy, like there's always that one guy who is just like a waste of space, and it's like why are we keeping him? Owen, that was you for me. I love you, but like that's who you were to me. And I mean, you did better, but Parker, I stand with you, and I'm rooting for you this season.
Everybody has their ride or die girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm just here. I'm keeping you here for the entertainment.
Yeah, roll with the girls always.
Yeah, I'm a
Same.
Parker.
Always go with. I wouldn't say I'm a Parker stan. I wouldn't say I'm a Parker fan. I would say I'm a Parker hater.
You would say that?
You
No,
hate
I
him?
wouldn't.
Okay,
No, I
okay,
wouldn't. I said I wouldn't.
okay.
I'm a bit of a stan right now in this moment in time, but I also feel like if they go on this trend of who's the big
Taking off
threat,
Murrah.
boom, that's who goes, then Parker's probably next.
Yeah, I mean, the sad thing is with these shallow people is like they're.
They're
Oh,
so.
why did they name their tribe that? Every time I call them shallow people, and only half. I'm like, oh god, this sounds horrible, and I only half sometimes mean it when I call them shallow.
I also don't know. I want an inside scoop. I want like, was it for Parvati Shallow? Was it for Shallow by Lady Gaga? I don't know.
Yeah, I asked, was A Star Is Born popular during this time? Because it was
It was
filmed
a
around the
little
same time.
dated. It was a little dated, but like it was like still like I think maybe it just won the Oscar. Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't quote me.
Maybe they're just shallow people.
I don't think so. I don't think
They
it
have.
was the Star is Born Oscar. I think, but yeah, the Parvati Shallow. Actually, I didn't even think about that, and that might
Yeah, I never thought about that as well.
be something.
Mother. She's mother.
Oh wait, but we didn't talk about this, and Polly and I talked about this earlier. Merge tribe name Moscato, brilliant. That's
Top
so
tier.
Oh,
I
I
think it's
never.
the best of Survivor Syracuse. I mean, Toxic by Britney Spears is really to beat, but it's pretty good. And it's kind of like a mix-up name. It's like a mashup of the other ones, but like
yeah, it's like Murado, and also
Shallow
buff
Tinkle.
the buff color
Pink!
hot pink, and the
gorge.
name Moscato. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're really going well with like colors and names, just not with gameplay. But who cares about that?
The aesthetic is great. This
Yeah. The season has a nice aesthetic, just not a good cast.
I think that the cast is only getting stronger, and like because we got more personality from Lily this episode, more personality from Mel, more from Parker, a little bit more from Casey with her little like freak out. Also, her hands were shaking so much. I was like,
also her confessional screen being like the size of each square here.
You know, I'm kind of rooting for this cast. Like I'm so pissed about like Mario being gone so soon. Like, what an icon!
Thanks, Parker.
Like, yeah, what's up with that? But they were roommates, so it's like you can't. The fact that they made that far as roommates is pretty crazy. But
Well,
they're bringing something new. It's a new era. They're bringing something new to Survivor Syracuse.
my thing that I've been saying with Lee for the past couple of weeks is Parker could have done a much better job protecting Mario if he, instead of moving him onto his tribe, he put him onto a tribe with more of his old tribe's majority. You know,
Mhm.
kind of screwed him with that tribe swap when he could have
Yeah.
protected him and Julia at the same time. That would have been way
Yeah,
better.
I think what we were saying is instead of switching Maddie and Julia to tribes, it should have been like switching Julia and Mario tribes, because then Julia would have been on Parker's tribe and Mario would have been on the tribe with Emma, Marcelo, and Lily,
Yeah.
who Emma was close with. So
Mm.
if they lost, then it just would have been, even if they lost twice, it would have been Maddie gone and then most likely Ben gone, or even Marcelo.
Yeah,
Either way, it
tribe
wouldn't
swap
have been Mario.
advantages are. It's always hard. Like I remember, like Erica season 2, like she did something maybe, and then it's like there's
Oh
always
yeah, where she had a choice to leave a tribe when she was in a minority and chose not to.
Yeah, there's no right thing to do, except there like usually is, but like there's always going to be backlash. So I've never been in that situation.
It's
I
also
can't-
hard because you have to make that decision like boom, so it's really
Mhm.
hard to
right after like you see the breakdown, it's like that's
yeah
hard.
you don't even
Yeah.
have to really think about it.
I guess so. Giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But oh well, no Mario, no more leopard print, no more leprosy print.
Rest in peace.
We love. Yeah, maybe for a second chance season, which is most likely in the future.
I stand if it's second chances or all stars or fans versus favorites. I want Mario, I want Emma, and then we can see how the rest of the season plays out. But
Oh, I want Emma. Emma would be great in like a senior year season for her because she's what, like a
Yeah,
sophomore during this season. She's like a sophomore.
Mhm.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
come on, that'd be awesome.
she's definitely returning. I can see her, Mario, and so far Maddie returning, because I feel like
I was gonna say Maddie. Like she's like that.
Maddie
Like
has potential.
under the radar, and like I think that was her freshman year. So like with growth,
So
like
yeah,
seeing me sophomore year, I'm like that kid is disgusting. So I'm
who
like,
is she?
bring it
Who
on.
is she?
Literally.
So, what else is there to talk about this episode? I mean, another thing I wrote down was Savannah worrying that she could be targeted because she's connected to Parker and could be voted off by association. Which to me is kind of like, maybe you should get rid of him then. That way you don't have that tie.
Especially with that idol, it would be
Yeah.
super like clutch for her to be like, "Oh, I know he has an idol. I found it with him. Like I have it, but like let's get it out."
Yeah,
Cool.
it can be like, wait till you have it, then vote off Parker, or vote off Parker with the idol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
then
wait
you'll be
till
the
it's
only
your
one that knows.
Yeah, wait till it's your
Yeah.
turn to be holding it and then blindside him. That would be so fucking cruel. But I support it.
Yeah, which I don't think. Well, even though they shall stop calling, oh god, that tribe name. Do I want to put it as one of the worst names in Syracuse history? I'm trying to flash back to what were the other names. Actually, this is the first. This is only the second season where tribe names were made up by the tribe, because all the other ones it was like Fan Tribe and First Tribe, Mind Tribe, Body Tribe, Soul Tribe, Hero Tribe, Villain Tribe.
Season
And
2.
then the only other ones are like Zeleny and Maroon 9.
Yeah, those were like tough. Zeleny was literally. I was there in the room watching it happen. I think Hannah Dolan looked it up. I think it's like Czech for green, like Czechoslovakian, like if that's the language, or Polish.
Yeah.
And then Maroon 9 is like you're really gonna put a number in your name, like.
I mean, they're the color maroon, and I'm assuming it was a pun on the Maroon 5 band.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, so not really much to compare it to.
No, but they've done great. It's a new era.
Yeah.
So honestly, to me, it's like a clean slate. You can't do wrong. It's a new era of gameplay. Like I'm an old school girl at heart, and I always will be. But like these new school kids, they're doing something. They're really going for it.
Oh, this is how the new era is starting. I hate to see the future.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's only up from here.
I'm hoping so, but my hope is slowly dying with each episode and with each vote off.
Right.
I think it'll only get. My hope is only going like this. So
Especially because it's a tough season too, because like this whole jump to Orange Television Network, like they have to start like their music choices from scratch and like the editing style and like working with those people. But now we've got, and especially because this was probably the worst semester of I don't want to say worst, but like one of the toughest semesters of production because they were doing two at once. So
Yeah.
I do believe it's only up and out from here. So, and I mean
Yeah.
now we got that Orange Television Network budget for like equipment for like challenges and video stuff. Hopefully that's getting used. So
Challenges that we'll hopefully see.
yes.
Oh, I will say, I like Polly and I as being at least in attendance or part of or there for some future challenges and future seasons. The production quality is definitely, we got nicer cameras, we got nicer locations, all good things coming. And I don't think hope should be dead on season 5.
No.
I didn't say it was dead. I said it was dying. There's a difference.
No, I think it needs to take a little Paxlovid and like start feeling better, and just roll with it because like we know how production is, but like it's a new era and it's still like impacted by the old era because like Luke said he would step back, and then it's like we hear Luke like talking to like contestants like frequently like throughout the season, so it's like that transitional period. It's not quite a new era, but like it is. Like it's like the bridge to the
Don't say
future.
transitional.
And I think it's like because it's like got Easter eggs from like the old era, but it's gonna set us up on this new ground of like new style gameplay and like people versus yeah. That was a sentence.
Yeah. Don't say transitional. We don't need Hannah crying in a corner.
That was only one time.
Okay. We don't need Madison crying in a corner.
Okay.
Hannah, okay, but we forget that Hannah's ass would have been gone 2 transitional tribals in a row if she didn't get her name pulled out of a fucking hat by some goddamn miracle.
The universe.
The universe saved her ass.
Did the universe say? Because we never saw that parchment with the paper on it, and we never saw what the other name.
I was there because I was
pissed.
I wanted it to be my name so bad. I was pissed.
But did you see the other parchment papers? How do we know that they all didn't say Hannah?
That's a good point.
Maybe production was like, we cannot let this girl go at another transitional tribal. Just put all the names as Hannah.
No, because production would have lived for that like full circle, like history repeating itself moment. Come on, Lee.
I know. Production is not like that. I just like stirring the pot. Something these cast members are not doing.
I'll give you that.
Yes. They are very like, we are going to play very safe and very like to these people we're randomly put together, and we're not going to bother with these other people. Because that's kind of what I'm getting from like these shallow people. It's like it just feels like they're kind of lazy in their gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Lily mentioned how Parker, Savannah, and Casey are like not reaching out.
Yeah. I hate that. I mean, because the least you can do is be like, "Hello, I'm here. Let's chat.
Yeah.
Hop on FaceTime for a little bit. Like, just fake it. It's not that hard to fucking fake it. It's part of the game.
You guys, and these people are going like extra and beyond to fake it. Like Eli was even mentioning how in the Maddie vote he like spit in his hands and rubbed in his eyes to look like he was crying and asked Luke, "Hey, does this look believable?" He did because he wrote it in the comments section.
I saw that comment too. I was like, "Ew!" Like there's a pandemic and you're spitting in your hands. Like get eye drops. Oh my god!
Or like a bottle of water, or a bottle of water to your eyes.
Like I don't know. There's better acting techniques than spitting.
Even just like the fake crying is one thing. Why would you be crying? Even if you were like so shocked and blindsided, why the fuck would you be crying? That's so like he was gassing himself up about his acting, but he overacted to the point where it was like comical. Like it was like like it was crazy. I was like,
The sad thing is these people
Unbelievable.
believe it too. That's the sad thing.
crazy.
I mean, I'm gullible. I might believe it.
I think I'm just too cynical.
Yeah, Lee. I want you out in the field. I want you to just play one of these IRL.
So do I, but they
You're
don't
so
exist over
true.
here.
We're trying to get Lee in on a charity game.
Yeah.
I really
As long
wanted
as
to
we're
do
doing
the.
that, I think he would be awesome. Like as a random, like I would be like Survivor Syracuse, like
Goes
Michigan
international.
Tiger, like Lee, like.
It's like, hi, I sometimes record opinions and I let them be known, and they're usually negative.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee, I'm sure no one else. I don't know.
Nobody watches
I'm not
this.
sure. If anyone is watching this in the charity game, like you're in our alliance, like if you see this and you're playing the game, like I'm down for the three of us to go to the end. I mean, Gabby, it might be a little tough, but like we just gotta get rid of the Syracuse people and we're clear.
You think
Yeah,
it would
exactly.
be tough for me to get to the
No,
end?
tough for us to go together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I would perfectly go into this game, final 3 you two, knowing the fact that I will get 3rd place. Because I do
Lee,
not
you
see a
don't know
world
that.
where
No,
I do not
Polly-
see a world where
Polly,
you two
don't
vote
believe
each
him.
other off.
Polly, don't believe him. He's just saying that so he can blindside us at some point.
I mean, I'm
You're
expecting
so
to be blindsided, and if I don't get blindsided, I'll be really offended.
You get
But-
Lee, you should super play it dumb. Like, we don't even have Survivor in Ireland. I don't know what this is.
Yeah. I can pretend to be Jason. I'm not really human. I'm a CGI.
We also had a theory that Jason was a body double. He wasn't actually in the season.
Yeah,
And whenever
I've seen him at the bars. I can confirm he's real.
are you sure
I
that's
don't
not
know if
just
there was,
like
a mutual recollection of like I know you. Do you know me? Like we said hi, but I don't think he said my name, so I don't know.
he was like, "Hi, person."
Yeah, he was like, hey. It was like me, Cass, and Holly, and he was like, "Oh, hey guys!" Like, no way he knows us, or I'm sure he remembered Holly, but like, that's probably it.
Well, he probably collectively knows you guys as Survivor people, so he's like, hey.
Yeah.
Was he
Like,
at the?
you-
We had this big Lee at the end of this semester. Both casts had this big party, and it was like hilarious. Was he at that?
I don't think he was at the rap party. Actually, he was one of few people. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
It's
see
because he doesn't exist.
The rap
I'm-
party was so funny. Join our Patreon if you want to hear the insights about the rap.
Join the Patreon if you want to hear who was hooking up at the rap party.
Yeah, the crossovers, the cross-season makeouts that were happening, crazy.
Insane.
Join our Patreon to get the true
Simply
tea. Figure out which season 4 and season 5 person are now a couple who secretly hate each other, who cheated on someone. This is all
You know?
I mean, most of those speculations are not unfounded. So
Yeah, of course these are speculations, and if you think I'm talking about you, then you are the one with the problem.
You know, I will say, I wish there was a showmance this season. I know no one said it yet, and most people don't say it, but like we haven't had a showmance since like season 2 in the game. Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't even a good showmance. They're not watching
They're
this.
still together. It's good because they're still together.
Shocking.
And she flipped tribes for him. So like that's a juicy showmance.
This is like Gabby's reaction.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, the worst guy and worst girl personality. Why is hooked up? Who would have thought? They're not watching this.
You know, Jack is a bit of a snake. He did fuck me over, and like that's okay. He's a great guy. Erica though
Is
is
he?
a good girl, and she's really carrying on the social team this season. So,
Yeah.
Erica, I'm sorry.
Everything's said in a joking manner. I don't
Right?
know
Yeah,
these
this is
people.
Yeah.
satire. Not true.
Why I'm laughing. It's very funny. It's hilarious.
Anyway, enough about a bad season. Let's move on to a worse season, which is this one. So, yeah, Emma gets voted off 6-5. No one's surprised. Well, Emma is.
Juicy
Nobody
though.
watching is. No one watching is surprised, but
Juicy
we get
votes
him.
split 6-5. You can't fight with that.
This was
I
the
can.
first time. Yeah, this was the first time I was like legitimately like a little, excited to watch the votes come up. I was like, ooh, what's it gonna be?
I think it's just because I've seen way too much Survivor. It's like, I know it's going to be Emma once the first Emma vote was read out. I think so far I have not been surprised by any of these vote offs. And I think that's why I want to be surprised. I want to be like, oh my god, this person actually went home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Your
I get
time will
that.
come, Lee.
Yeah. Like, if it was Parker, I would have been like, wow, somebody actually flipped on him. I was really hoping somebody would vote in by mistake. That's another thing I really want to happen. I want somebody to accidentally. Okay, I saw this in this one Survivor I watched where this one guy believed that everyone was voting off his ally, so he voted his ally as well to be with the numbers. He ended up being the deciding vote to vote him off because it was 5-4. So he accidentally.
We had
He
Jason
acted.
King season 3, dude. Like it
Jason
happens.
voting himself
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, we need like some Jason Ding moments, please.
I know. I
None of
agree.
this predictability stuff. Like even season 1 had good surprises. Now season 1 where half the players did not know what they were doing.
That's
Yeah,
why it
that's
had
a good
good
point.
surprises.
Mhm.
Yeah, and now these people don't know what they're doing, so they're just listening to someone. We're listening to the shallow god that's not Parvati.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Parvati would want better. She would
Yeah,
want
if this tribe is named after Parvati, they're putting her name to fucking shame. I said this
At
thing.
least now it's Moscato season. It's
Yeah.
all sweetness and messiness for here on out.
No, Moscato. I cheers to that because that's like what a great name.
Cheers to Moscato.
The Moscato.
I wonder
season.
what the Moscato season. Yeah, this is no longer a new era. This is Survivor Moscato.
Yeah.
Sweet and messy.
Yeah. Speaking of, I also want to mention. Oh, what do you want to say, Gabby?
You go.
I want to mention one final thing. Casey believes she can play an idol at Final Four to break up Julia and Eli. Now, I don't know if she
Who can
meant
tell
to say.
her? Who is gonna tell her? I mean, she's like been on production. No, I can't say since season 1 because I think she like stopped season 2, but like she was there season 1. Like she saw like the idol out like at the final 5. Like I feel like she knows you can't do the idol thing at final 4, but
Part of me thinks she meant to say Final 5, but just said 4.
yeah.
But the thing I'm mostly questioning is why would you bring a pair to Final 4 or 5? Would you not vote them off earlier? Like, why guarantee finding an idol and then being a sole vote to get rid of someone when you can just get rid of them before? Maybe she just wants to be like, this was my move.
Yeah, maybe
That's kind of kind of what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is another reason why I'm kind of disappointed by this vote because like Emma was a huge target that people were ready to turn on her. It's not like she was a shallow member and was just being blindly followed. People were ready to betray on her.
Mm-hmm.
And now instead of this being like an impressive move to get out this big threat, it's just a majority picking off one person that didn't win immunity.
Well, I
like
think they did. Well, I was sorry. I was just gonna say I think they didn't. Again, I go back to Eli's like YouTube comment. I think they didn't key into the fact enough that Emma had been a target of Shallow the entire time, and they had always pegged her as the one person on Murado that they wanted out the most. So I think that as much as she thought she super had a chance and there wasn't any way in hell that she was going home, like she was a dead girl walking. Like,
Way to quote Hannah there, dead girl walking.
oh god.
Go. Call back.
That's also another thing. How could you believe they're bad acting? Like,
Yeah.
are you just that full of Are you just that full of yourself, or are you just that gullible? Or maybe it's both.
And again, in reference to Hannah Dolan, none of them are acting majors quite like she is. So
No. Oh yeah, Polly, the Patreon money goes towards the Hannah Dolan School of Acting that we're going to help fund and raise.
Unreal. Well, I have to support it if that's the case.
that is what we decided.
That's
Money
Yeah.
cool. That's a really important mission you guys have.
Yeah, that's the goal. So please join our Patreon to support Hannah Dolan.
Easily. I have seen her. Hannah, I love you. I did see her posting. She like reposted a TikTok on her Insta, something about like, or maybe she reposted on TikTok or something. Something about like, oh, if I were picking my college major now versus like 4 years ago. So I don't know where she stands as an actress. I don't know.
That girl needs to be on television. My God,
She needs to be somewhere. Yeah, I'm rooting for her.
She needs to be on like. What are you saying?
I was gonna say she and Jack need to. We've said this before, but she and Jack need to get cast on the same Survivor season.
And like maybe that'll be what it takes for her to like chop him. I don't know.
Literally, she'll grab the machete and cut off what makes him a man.
She lets him do it again. What if she lets him do it again though on national TV this time?
No, there's no living that down.
Well, we were also saying that Jack and Hannah be on the same circle season, but like not know of each other. And you know when they do the go visit someone and then they visit each other?
Yeah.
Or they
both
be
awesome, honestly, them on the same circle season, because just the reveal.
Or have them both on, but they catfish each other. Like Jack goes on pretending to be Hannah, and Hannah goes on pretending to be Jack.
But then they'd both be like, that's me. Like if Jack went on pretending to be like Erica, Hannah would be like, hey Erica.
Hey Erica. I will say, I mean this in the least problematic way possible, obviously, because Jack is in a relationship and Hannah is a lesbian, but they always had like a weirdly sexual tension.
So sexual.
They did. They always had a weird tension. And I'm always like, I know you're not into dudes, and I know that you're in a like you're obviously super in love with your girlfriend. So what is going on here?
And we were left in the crossfire.
I'll be honest, there were moments watching season 2 and 3 where I was like, I feel like these two need to just like either kill each other or just go at it. Like just rip each other's clothes off and hate fuck each other.
Yeah, it will end in death or hate sex. That's the arc.
Yes. Join our $1,000 tier Patreon to watch the video.
Okay, well now it's turning into an OnlyFans.
Join the Survivor OnlyFans.
Live reality games OnlyFans.
I don't think we can say that.
Well, this isn't TikTok. Like they won't like take it down.
Yeah.
Right? What do they see on TikTok? They see like something fans or whatever. Who from Survivor Syracuse would we want to see on OnlyFans?
Stop!
No.
Stop right there.
We're not. We'll answer this. If we're gonna answer this, we're not answering this live.
All right.
I do not want to.
Right. That's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lee. Take us back to a new era. What's going on?
So I think this is a great way to do mine and Gabby's personal favorite ending thing that Paul, you'll get to join, where we are going to rank the voted off person against people who share the same placement.
Oh, that's a gag.
Placement ranking. This has been inspired, influenced, and stolen from the Keep Your Torch Lit podcast crew of Survivor Michigan. Polly looking where he's at in the ranking.
Yeah, no, I saw this when you first posted it, Lee. I'm pretty content with where I am. I think in both. Yeah, in both my.
You're number one in both.
Yeah, we'll see if these new era chumps have what it takes.
Polly, notice how I'm behind Madison in the third
place. That is definitely a loaded situation that this podcast maybe shouldn't discuss live. But yeah, let's let me recap.
Oh, we've discussed it live already.
Okay, I'll roll the tapes later. Okay, so we're at
11th place.
You have Jack right. Jack going. That was a huge gag. Like I was filming for that one. I was like right behind them. I was like, mostly because I didn't know what was going on, and I thought like he was like the power player. But checks out. Jack, Ryan, Derek, Brandon.
I was also filming for that one.
I can't spell.
Sorry, I'm a big typo. I'm an English degree holder, so I'll clock you, Lee. I got you. Brian, Brian was crazy and vulgar and not the most strategic, but he was good TV. Damn it! So I think he should be higher than Derek, but that's my.
Oh, I should mention this is based on like strategy and gameplay, not entertainment value.
Okay, that kind of changes.
Because it was entertainment value.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Not boring. It's just like he sucked.
Game wise. Game wise.
Well.
Okay. So now we have.
As Polly mentioned, we have Jack currently number 1 in the 11th, Ryan Baker on season 3, Derek on season 4, and Brian from season 1 currently in last place. Now, for me personally, I would immediately put Emma lowest, second.
Me too. Lowest.
Before Brian.
Like easily, because Ryan's strategy was just
be with his friends
for the soul tribe. Like that was and apparently that's a better strategy than Derek and Brian.
Well, Brian had no strategy, and Derek had the same strategy, but was more annoying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would put Emma
at least second.
If not first.
Yeah. So the question is Emma's gameplay better than Jack's first season's gameplay? Because it took an idol to get rid of Jack. Well, we cannot ignore the power that Emma had pre-merge.
I think, Emma had insane amount of power pre-merge, but I think that she could have gone so much farther if she dialed that back slightly and wasn't so out in the open about her power and her control, because she got a little too ahead of herself by calling everybody else sheep, by flipping people off at challenges, that kind of thing. And like, if she had just dialed some of that back in, she could have gone super far and she would have been really entertaining. Like what Polly said earlier, if she had kept all her shit talking to the vlogs, it would have been perfect. She would have had a great game. And I think she would have gone really far. But she kind of, I don't know.
I agree. Because at least Jack was that loud, playing too hard, too fast, up in the front player his first time around too, but at least he wasn't like flipping people off at the challenge. Because I mean, especially if that was like a huge factor, just like likability, like people liked Jack, they just perceived him as a huge threat, but like Emma really just burned all those bridges without even trying.
Yeah, which is weird because Jack was a huge douche to people, yet people still would have taken him further. Well, Emma was outright flipping off people, and people were like, no, she has to go immediately. Is there a gender difference? Potentially, but we already talked about that.
There's 100% a gender bias there, but Survivor is a reflection of society, and
it is.
We are.
Right. So if you're a problematic male, don't worry, you'll most likely go far because people will be like, he has a fun personality. If you're a problematic female, you'll be lucky to be cast.
Yep.
So we agree Emma just under Jack, above Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Emma.
Sorry, bro. We tried harder, but Jack's a tough cookie to crack.
Yeah, I mean, it took an idol to get rid of him the first time. and Final 5 the second time.
I see he's above Valentina for Final 5 too. That's fun.
Well, yeah, Valentina.
Well,
Love
Valentina is
girl.
all personality.
Yeah.
She's got social game.
Valentina has social game, but again, as much as Jack is a piece of shit, potentially, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you
personally.
only know him from an edited
Yeah.
YouTube show. Yeah.
Yeah, from his edited persona on this channel, he seems like a douche.
Mm-hmm.
But he's one of those lovable douches. Sometimes. And he had the amount of people that kept going on about like, oh, I have to see what Jack thinks. Oh, I'm going to talk with Jack and see what he thinks. I'm not going to do it unless Jack is okay with it. I mean, I'm sure there's people here that are guilty of saying that.
True.
Yeah.
So that's why he's above Valentina. But Valentina did play a good game. I mean, she's not last.
No.
Sorry, Summer.
In the summer. Wow, juicy. Well, I like this, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the season plays out. And honestly, we've got Emma with a high placement and Emily. Emily was my resident, so I stand both of them.
So
I think this season you're gonna see some high placements from people.
I hope so, because currently where I'm thinking of ranking everyone in current placements and where I think they're going to go, a lot of them are going to either be last place or pretty low. And that's hard to beat with some of these people.
Wait, Molly Gibbs? We have Brianna's worse than Molly Gibbs. Well, at least Brianna had I would like to revise that one because Molly had strategy, but hers was just clawing from the bottom.
Well,
Brianna
I think
was trying to run stuff, and you got to give that.
no. I think our philosophy with that was that Brianna like fully shot herself in the foot with the whole like, if anybody finds the idol, like, can you just give it to me? Like, that was so weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I think we ranked Brianna low because it's like we knew within the first 10 minutes she was going to be voted off first once this trap lost with Molly. It was very much like it could have been her, it could have been Catherine.
Yeah. All right.
But
okay. I just wanted to check that one.
Yeah. Do you want to check any of the other ones?
Well, yeah, I was checking. I felt bad for Mario, but like 15th place is apparently a very loaded boot. Like,
yeah, right?
Some big brains over there.
Yeah, I mean, Molly LaPesca in that random vote off.
Robbed. Molly robbed.
I was also talking to Lee about how there were huge ripple effects in the social circles surrounding the game when the Molly LaPesca boot happened.
Yeah. Why
Shock
did you guys do that again?
Same with Carl. Well, because it was like Adam, she didn't have the numbers. I think it was the easy thing to flip on her.
Oh, no, this was in season 1, not season 3.
This was season 1. Oh, season 1, it was literally, we just wanted to like have a gag. Like we wanted to like shake things up. It was the easy one, even though, and like we were like, Jake's with her, but like she's a snake. And it was dumb. I'll regret this till the day I die. Me and Valentina should have voted out Julia over her like 1,000 times, but like Julia had us under her spell. Like she's that good,
She was your one from Hocus Pocus. I forget her name. Who's the middle one? It's not Sarah. No, yeah, that one, the main one.
Winifred, I think, is the main one.
Ah, yes. The only one I know is the one Sarah Jessica Parker played.
Sarah Jessica, yep.
Yeah, so that is Emma's ranking. Congratulations, girl. You got top 2 of the 11th placers.
Congrats, Emma.
Icon.
To be fair, it was not a hard battle. 11th place is very weak. It was like Jack and then the others.
Yeah.
But now Jack had some competition with Emma.
Mm-hmm. There was a debate.
There was a debate.
We had to think about it. There was thought put into it.
Uh-huh.
But Emma, oh god, now I kind of want to see a season with Jack and Emma on it.
Charity game.
No, I don't know if they would
be like... do that. If any of you are watching this, I'm sure they're not, but like, I hope that's like the one thing they keep going because, like, come on.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
like
any word of it. We were planning it by now last year.
yeah. Syracuse people, I know you're watching this because I'm famous and all I do is talk about your show. Get a charity game starting and please invite me. Even if I'm first at
If it happens, I will make sure, if it's literally the last thing I do, I will make sure you get invited to play.
yes.
Sure.
Also, please host it at an earlier time than usual. I would rather not be staying up at the middle of the night.
Oh.
Well, I remember the last time it was like a whole day, and it like started in the morning and ended in like the early
Our
afternoon.
time.
Yeah, but that would be okay for you, right? Because it's
If you guys start around like 1, that would be like 6 in the evening for me. So that would be fine, depending on the day, obviously. Like if I have work or something.
yeah. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So could you guys just make a charity game purely for the fact that I can play?
Yeah, please charity game.
Yes, my charity game, just to play. And
With
it's
the
like we had, yeah, where I will have a production immunity idol where you cannot vote me off until at least jury phase. I'll have that immunity that Netta had in Big Brother Canada 5, where it's like you cannot vote this person off until jury.
Rigged. But, you know.
Big Brother reference for the people out there who know the show. I know Polly's a fan of it. He managed to meet the most recent winner.
And America's favorite.
Yeah, America's favorite, recent winner, and oh god, the journey that woman went on. The true star of 2022, honestly.
She is. She's an angel.
Yeah,
On
shout out
screen
to
and
Taylor
in real
Hale.
life. Can confirm. She's mother. Literally mother.
And I think with that being said, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Polly, for joining us with your very busy schedule. I know you've been wanting to get on for a while.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great. I love to be here. Gabby, nice to see you as always. Lee, you're killing it. I'm excited to see how you do the rest of the season.
Same here. Gabby, as usual, thank you for joining.
Oh, thanks, Lee. I'll be here next week too. And it was so good to see you. It was so good to chat with you.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for watching. If you're a part of the cast or production, please know I'm not very important, so my opinions do not matter.
That is
They matter, Lee. They matter.
At least someone has to hold us accountable.
Yeah. You know what? They do matter. Start making the season better. Cut out this cast. You know what? Just stop the season. Start season 6. The season is going well. Okay, I can't say the season's not going well. Please improve. But I'm sure it'll be better in the future. And we'll see you guys next time for another Survivor Syracuse recap. Bye.